Hey guys, welcome to the 8th episode of DP Education. Today we'll be learning some more GCSE maths. We'll be focusing on powers and roots. So, the things we're going to learn this lesson are the 7 easy rules when, let's say, multiplying the powers, dividing powers, and more. But then, we'll look at 3 tricky rules that might give your head a bit of a spin. So, let's get into it. Before I begin, I'd like to say that I'm pretty sure that you guys know what powers are, but if you don't, make sure you do, because when learning the powers here, it will be very much easier if you know what they are. So, the 7 easy rules. The first one is that when multiplying 2 powers, you add the powers together. So, the example here is 3 to the power 6 times 3 to the power 3 becomes 3 to the power 9, because 6 plus 3 is equal to 9. And you just keep 3. So, then, the second rule is, when dividing, you need to subtract the powers. So, 3 to the power 6 divided by 3 to the power 3, the same example except with the division sign, is equal to 3 to the power 3, because 6 minus 3 is 3. The third rule is that when raising one power to another, you multiply them. So, 3 to the power 6, in brackets, to the power 3, is equal to 3 to the power 18, because 6 times 3 is 18. The fourth rule is that x to the power 1 is equal to x. So, what I'm trying to summarize is, I'm going to try to summarize it by saying that anything to the power 1 is just itself. However, x to the power 0 is equal to 1. So, anything to the power 0 is 1. So, 5 to the power 0 is 1, 67 to the power 0 is 1. Any number is to the power of 0 is 1. The sixth rule is that 1 to the power x is equal to 1. So what I'm trying to say is that 1 to the power of anything is still 1. And then the last rule are fractions. So when doing fractions, you apply the power to both the top and the bottom. So the example here is that we have 3 over 5. And it's asking us to cube it all. So the cube of 3 is 27. So we know the numerator will be 27. Whereas the denominator in the first scenario is 5. 5 to the power 3 is 125. Therefore, the resultant outcome is 27 over 125. Pretty easy enough. Now, it's time to go into the 3 tricky rules. So, the first rule of the tricky rules are that negative powers means you need to turn it upside down. So here the example is 7 to the power minus 2, which is equal to 1 over 49. Why? Because think about every integer as a fraction, as well as normal fractions. So 7 is equal to 7 over 1. Because it's a minus sign, you flip it over, so the 1 goes to the top and the 7 goes to the bottom. Then you square both sides of the fraction. So the 2 goes to the 1 and 49. Next, the second tricky rule is that it's fractional powers. So here are some examples. So like the power 1 over 2 means square root. It's basically asking you to square it once and then, to raise it to the power of 1 and then square root it. So yeah, in terms it's meaning that you need to square root it. Same thing with the power of 1 over 3, which means a cube root, and the power of 1 over 4 means fourth root, etc. You get the deal. And then the last tricky rule are 2-stage fractional powers. So these are when it's not only 1 over a denominator, it's rather a larger number than 1. So here we have 64 to the power 5 over 6. So what we want to do is that we want to split the fraction into a root and a power to do them in order. So we want to do the root first, then the power. So here, 64 to the power of 5 over 6 could also be written as 64 to the power 1 over 6 times 5. So that means that it's equal to 64 over 1 over 6 to the power 1 over 6, which is equal to 2. and then we have to raise it to the power of 5, because remember, we split 5 over 6 into 1 over 6 and 5. So as we do that, we get the result to be 32. So, next we'll be looking at an example that you want to do. So, just pause the video and have a try at this, using the rules that we've learnt so far. Okay, so you're back now. Let's see the solution to 3a to the power 2 times b to the power 4 times c, all to the power 3. Let's see how it simplifies. So, when you're simplifying 3 to the power a to the power 2, so 3a to the power 2, b to the power 4, c, all in brackets to the power 3, you need to deal with each part separately. So, what I'm trying to say is that the 3 goes to the power 3, the a to the power 2 goes to the power 3, the b to the power 4 goes to the power of 3, and the c goes to the power of 3. So if you do each part separately and work it out, you come to figure out that it's 27 times a to the power of 2 times 3, so a to the power 6, and then b to the power 12, because it's 4 times 3, and then times c to the power of 3. You can do this with many things. Just make sure that you do every single part of it separately. It makes it a lot easier for yourself. So guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel a lot. I hope you learned something new from this. See you in the next episode.